Goodness. How everybody doing? Woo. Crazy. 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 What's it just appeared in the midst. That's right, like whoa. Ooh, all right, we're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and blow. Yes, sir. You all right? Oh, I don't know what be going on, boy. She was over there sitting down with the incense. Come on. As we face towards these, Most High Kadash Elohim Yahuwah, we come to you for no other odds we know. We say I do for all things that you have given us, even the breath of Kai. Thank you for allowing us to be on the rocks one more time, to do thy will, to give thy debar. We ask that you continue to be with us henceforth and forevermore. We ask you to barak all those that are in attendance, also those that are watching by way of live streaming. Those may be listening in for the first time. We ask you to continue to watch over us for two, but not for Rasha. All these things we ask in your being, Yahushua HaMashiach, we palau. Let us all say, Amen. All right. That's right. Woo. It'll be all right. That's right. All kabul to the Most High Yah. That's right. All kabul to the Most High Yah. That's right. That's right. Whew. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be well. That's right. I'm glad to be here in the Mikdash instead of getting over a hangover from Friday night at the club. That's right. Been headache, throwing up everywhere. I never was a drinker, but I always was a designated driver. You too, Ray? That's right. They used to drink the vodka and the 1800 proof, and I used to just drink the pineapple juice and orange juice to just look cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you know when they had the liquor bottles, they gave you juice about this big. I said, this juice in the store is about $5. I'm finna devour all this. Alex, you can't drink all the juice. It goes without liquor. That's not the rules that was on this table. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's all about living clean. Having a clean lifestyle and badal or separating yourself from that old lifestyle. That's what we deal with. A lot of people suffer from those things, but I think the Most High, he always kept me sober. One thing why I wanted to remain sober, because I had a friend of mine, he died while he was drunk and intoxicated. And I asked myself, did he know that he died? Because he wasn't in his right state. He don't know. The next thing he don't know is judgment. That's right. So I thank the Most High through his being, Yahushua HaMashiach. That's right. We say Yah, because we know that's his name. That is his name. That's right. God is just what they call a title. Y'all got that, right? God, that boy went straight to the alphabet chart. That's right, but we'll start off right quick. This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Shout out to Ra'ah. That's right, who have begot us in the Debar. Mm-hmm. That's right. You get what I'm saying? My daddy said, son, you keep listening to the man over and over, it's gonna keep getting in your head, over and over. I had to drive out that old behavior. That's the problem. That's what it is, that old behavior. That's right. This is Romans chapter 15 at verse 4. Listen to the Sefer.
For whatever Nikatab before, Nikatab for our Lamed, that we through endurance in the Kum Tikva.
We might have Tikva, all right? We might have hope.
Yes, sir.
Some things that we look forward to. That's right. So that's the chair, right? Okay. I'm about to say, boy, that's probably interpretation. Might have hope. And I asked you all yesterday, Layla, what's some things that you desire to do? You know, what are you hoping for? We had Courtney say she waiting on money. Xavier say he waiting on the job. That's right. My daughter, she told me in the car she was waiting to be a WWE superstar. I say, man, this girl is crazy. Off the top rope, she's just, it's on her. She jump off stuff and she just, already hits, already, like what? So everybody have different hopes in life, right? But most of all, I said at the end of my life, I want to be justified. The things that I'm serving for, the things that I'm in life for, I just want to be, justified. So give me the book of Tahalim, which they call Psalms. Chapter 68 at verse 1. They call it the book of Psalms. A lot of the books in the Sefer, they tell you they have these are Greek names for them, but we always have our original names. And so I always have to ask several times, why do you say Yah? And I say, just pull out your Bible. I started off with the basics. I said, well, let's see what's written, right? And it's one of the things that's written. This is the book of Tahalim, chapter 68 at verse 1. Listen to the book.
Let Elohim arise. Let his enemies be scattered.
Yep.
Let them also that hate him flee before him.
Mm-hmm.
As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the Rasha perish at the presence of Elohim.
That's right.
But let the Sadiq be glad. Let them rejoice before Elohim. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice.
That's right.
Shir unto Elohim.
Y'all see what it say? It says shir unto Elohim.
Shir Tahalim to Hishim.
Yep.
Extol him that rideth upon the Shamayim. By Hishim, Yah.
By Hishim, what?
Yah.
Does it say Jah?
Yes.
It says Jah in the book, right? It says J-A-H, right? But it states it right here. In your book, it'll call it Jah, but we know his name is Yah, right? Because we don't have the J terminology, right? So then I said, okay, this is the book. This is where we can find record of his name. So they would say, well, how do you go about talking about Jah? And I said, we have Aleph bets. And we'll go to the chart. And they say, well, where you got this chart from? What website you got this chart from? Who made this chart? Only book I believe is the what? Is the Bible, right? So then I turn to the book of what? There you go. I go to Tahalim, chapter 119. And you go ahead and turn that. The book of Tahalim, chapter 1 at verse 19. No, 119. Well, you gotta get specific. You said 119, I did, I'm sorry. All right, so when you turn to the book of, you turn to 119, at the end of each chapter, what will you find? You will find the Aleph Bet. I mean, at the beginning of each chapter. In your book, you see it, it says Aleph, right? And you go down again. What chapter, what Beth start at? At 9, chapter 9. Right? And it says Bet, right? The reason being because that's how they count, right? Aleph, Bet, and it's right there inside of their own Bible. So then when they see that, now I can take you and say, okay, look, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. So when you take me, you say the book, the name is in there, y'all. Then we got the Aleph Bet. We don't go by A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta. We go about our Abarim, right? about our Abarim spelling in our language. So this goes all the way until what? To the end, which is the last verse. What's the last chapter? It should be the what? 2, right? Getting that boy went all the way down. What is it, 169? There you go, go to 169. There you go right there. They'll call it the taw, but we consider we say it's the toot. That's one of our last alphabets that we have. All right? The last alphabet that we have. In Greek, the last Greek alphabet is what? It's omega, which they consider omega, right? And so you have a lot of fraternities or fraternity sororities, they're considered, when you die, you go over to the omega chapter of your life because it's the end. That's what, is the same way, Ray? Capel? Let me cover that. I remember when I was joining Alpha Alpha, and you know when they had a funeral, the whole fraternity come around the casket, and they started singing. I was like, before I joined, I was like, what are they doing? But they have a whole ceremony just for the dead. They enter the person into the Omega chapter of that fraternity. I said, what kind of junk is going on here? But these are some things in life what people do, right? But they always it always starts back from our language, our nativity, or our writings. So we'll go back to, I said Tahalim 68. Let me write that down. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Give me the book of Oriah. That's Luke. They'll call it Luke. Oriah chapter 4 at verse 16. This is the book of Oriah. They call Luke chapter 4 at verse 16. We got to rest, we got to enter into. And the book says we got to labor to enter into what? His rest. All right, how many of y'all tired of working? Mm-hmm. Hey, well, with draw, I say, you got what you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? A lot of times we work ourselves constantly, right? We working for a reward.
Right.
Right? But some people don't mind working when you start telling yourself you making $5,000 a day.
It's true.
You don't even want to go to sleep.
That's right. That's right.
When you making $5,000 a day, you like, okay, man, sleep. I don't need to sleep. Because if I can make $5,000 a day, if I don't go to sleep, I can make 10. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
So you get your reward, it gets you up. You want to work. But when you making $5 a day, you like, F my boss.
Right.
F can be stand for forget as well.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I always tell people don't quit their job, they quit their boss. All right, Val, don't worry about it, Val, don't worry about it. Val, I employ people as well. You can encourage people as much as they want, right? But at the end of the day, when an employee gets tired, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna leave. That's their choice. Now, what if you was a slave? Do you have that power to leave?
No.
You have nowhere to go. I own you. I own you. You get what I'm saying? How are we free, but yet we're still a servant to sin? Right? So you really ask yourself, are you really free? Right? So, in order to be free, or in order to get out of a situation, you need what? What do you need? You need a deliverer. What else? A yasha, a purpose, or if you're in a bad situation, what sometimes some things what you need? Money, but what else? You need help. Get out of jail free card. Wow. Wow. That's an interesting point. I was listening to something the other day, and it said, do you realize if you play Monopoly and you never bought no properties and you just collect $200 every time, and you don't acquire properties, you're still in a broke. Why? You got to pay everybody else. Everybody else buying land around you but you. But you just collecting your $200 every time you pass go. They consider that your taxes. So you get your money, and then as soon as you pass go, what you got to do? You just paying people. And you just hoping to get to what? To the end of what? Get that $200. So what they was trying to get to teach us is we need to start acquiring things. You need to start acquiring properties. You need to start acquiring things to where people can pay you. Sell food so that people can pay you. The whole goal in sales is how can I get that dollar out of Cam's pocket? How can I get that dollar out of Val's pocket? What does Val have? Right? If this whole room will harvest certain things, right, this needs to be my whole industry. Because the salesman's like, how can I get that dollar out? Why should Cam spend that money with me over anybody else? That's the whole goal. That's the whole goal to it and about it. So we're talking about being. This is the book of Ariah, chapter 4, at verse 16. What they call Luke, chapter 4, verse 16. Listen to this first.
And he came to Nazareth,
Yep.
where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on Shabbat Yom,
Yep.
and stood up for to read.
So he came to a place where what? That he was from, right? His home turf. Y'all follow him? And he stood up to read. And what happened, Chris?
And there was delivered unto him the Sephar of the Nabi, Yashayahu.
Yes.
And when he had opened the Sephar, he found a Malchum where it was written,
Where it was written, yes.
the Ruach of Yahuwah is upon me, because he hath Mashiach me to preach the tube news to the poor.
Yep.
He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
It said he, go back up. It said he anointed me, Mashiach me, to bring tube news to the humble.
He hath sent me to
And we're using this Beth HaMashiach because it's one translation that we can go back from Abari language to English, and it's color coded. Whatever resource that I can use to get closer to the Amat, I use it. You understand what I'm saying? We have been indoctrinated so long that people say they got truth, but so much have went between us, we don't even know what to take. At the end of the day, we were slaves right here in America, right? So the only thing that was given to you, that's the only thing you knew. I knew Jesus. I was going to take him all the way to the grave. I was about to get a Jesus tattoo on my chest because I wanted to show, you know what? I wanted to show I'd do whatever, but I just ain't want to live right. People will get Jesus, they'll get the whole scriptures on their back, but won't live right. On the back, they'll have 6 religions on themselves. Jesus, Buddha, right? And the Virgin Mary. They have all kind of stuff on their back. Chinese inscriptions. But they won't live right. It's not about what you put on, it's about what's inside of you.
That's right.
Let's see what Yahusha came to do. What it reads.
He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted,
He sent me to care for the brokenhearted.
to preach deliverance to the captives,
That's right. To proclaim freedom to the exiles.
and recovering of sight to the blind,
And for blind of opening release.
to set at liberty them that are bruised,
To send oppressed away free. To send the oppressed away what? Free. That means I'm going to open up the jail cells and I'm going to do what? I'm going to let you go. And to proclaim what? What does it say, Chris?
to preach the acceptable Shana of Yahuwah.
Man, this thing is to proclaim favor, what? To proclaim a year of favor for Yahuwah. That's what I'm talking about. Favor. A whole year. We finna get it. Then what did he do, Chris?
And he closed the shofar Safar, and he gave it again to the Shabroth and sat down.
And he sat down,
And
yes?
his and the of all them that were in the sun again were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them,
What did he say?
this katab, this katab fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness and wondered at the gracious dabarim which proceeded out of his paw. And they said, is not this Joseph's ben?
There you go.
Well, and he said unto them,
You know, that's what they do, right? Anytime that you come from a neighborhood or you come from a place and you do something good, the first thing they say, is that Boston boy? How he gonna do all this? He grew up with me. How can anything good come from you? Because you grew up where I'm from and I ain't nobody. That's how they judge you.
yep.
Oh, you think you're gonna join something to make you better? Better than me? You're gonna be right here with me. People use your failures to justify their unsuccess.
That's
So
right.
every time you fail, they say, you know what? I'm still successful. And you try your best to be validated by people around you or where you're from, and that's where your validation don't need to come from. You get what I'm saying? You post things, and then guess what? People back home, what they say? Who that person is? And that's why I give it to them every time. Ha! A boy from Skipperchuck, from Parkview Elementary, from New Orleans. I go through my whole background. Who that nigga think he is? I'm just showing you, you can make it out of that. You don't have to be that. At the end of the day, right? But most of all, you ain't gotta live like a sinner. Because at the end of my whole journey, the whole goal is gonna be say, listen, I stopped committing sin and look what I became. At the end of the day, I don't care how much you gained, what was your start? What was your root? I laid down a life of sin to pick up a new life, and look what I got of the abundance of the things that I sacrificed. It's an easy formula. Your journey will not start until you decide to lay down that life. Because you become that journey of the things that you were, right? And then at verse 23, what he said?
And he said unto them,
Yep.
ye will surely say unto me,
What?
this Marshali, physician, heal thyself.
Yep.
Whatsoever we have Shama done in Capernaum, do also here in thy
At
country.
Kafar Nakum. That is the village of comfort. It say, whatever we have heard you done at all in the village of comfort, do also here, where? Where you from? Wow, why you don't create a dispatcher service right here in Mississippi? You got to be crazy. What are we finna dispatch? No disrespect. I don't mean to look. You get what I'm saying? What are we sending corn to over here to the field? What are we dispatching? Nah, I just work with my analogy because I'm trying to gain people and laughs right now. You know, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. I ain't going behind your back. But what are we gonna dispatch? But people say, why don't you do it right here where you're from? I can't do it where I'm from because it's gonna be the most hate done right here. Y'all gonna be the one taking me down. I have gained so much by leaving Miami. And people be like, man, what happened? I said, you know what, man, really, I just had to get out of that environment. It was just draining, bro. I walk outside, it's just like, I just can't do this, man. I can go visit for about a day, I'm gone. Because where you from, it just seems like people just be like, man, dang, bro, you gonna forget about a nigga? Man, listen, you are a grown man. Nigga asked me, I'm sorry, y'all. I almost got mad. Joker say, dog, you ain't even get me up for my birthday. Well, what? A grown man, I ain't get you nothing for your birthday? I got to go. You talking about your birthday? Bro, we grown. But you see the mindset of people, when you say you elevated, you can't even look out for your boy. Brother, only looking out for your boy, I can give you a job. I don't get out money no more, I give you a job. Then when I give out something, hey, what you got to sell? You got a car or something? Can you put me on your title or something? Dang, dog, you think I don't pay you back? No, I'm just saying, I just need something to get my money back. That's called the Yausa Pawn Shop. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. That's what it's got. This is just a security to make sure I get my money back. You follow what I'm saying? But they asked the question, they said, what you doing now, why don't you do it right here in your own town? You already know their mindset. Y'all don't care nothing for me. Why? Because he used further examples. What other example he used? And he said, what he said, Aki Chris?
And he said, Amon, I say unto you,
What happened?
no Nabi is accepted in his own country.
A Nabi is not welcome in his native land. It's telling you right here. Where you from? A native land.
But I tell you of an Amat.
Now he finna slice and dice him. That's
3
right.
Shana and 6 Yari.
Yep.
When great famine was throughout all the Arats.
That man said it was plenty widows in Yashral. And what happened?
But unto none of them was all Yahoo sent,
Except,
unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon,
Yep.
unto in a Shah that was a widow.
that man said he ain't help nobody in that land but a foreigner. That was a widow. That's tight. That could be considered mean in some eyes. But it said it's not for y'all. Because y'all want to take it. But this person is foreigner, guess what? I'm going to take care of this widow woman. It's plenty of people over in Miami you can help. Man, get out of my face, man. When that time comes, it's going to come. But that's a scenario what he's dealing with. He said, if you're going to heal all these people, why don't you heal us? And what else he said? It was many lepers. What it said, Chris?
Were in Yasharal in the time of Elisus,
Alicia.
Elisha, the Nabi, and none of them was cleansed.
Except
Naaman, thus Aran.
the Arami. So all these lepers in that were Yasharal, were they healed? No. But he healed what? Somebody of another what? A stranger. So right now, they sitting back hot. They sitting back saying, so hold on, you mean to tell me you trying to say you ain't gonna even help your own people? Then what he said, Chris?
And all they in the Sonigan, when they shama these things, were
What happened?
filled with wrath.
They was hot. Anger, they was hot. They was mad. You follow what I'm saying? Dwight, what happened? Go down. Go back down. All right? So when everyone who was in the house of the Sonigan heard these words and it was filled with anger, because he know they was talking about who? Them. If he say he gonna open the captives, if he gonna open the prisons, he think he talking about them. But guess what he's saying? He's I'm gonna go to another place to do that. So why are you telling us this? Because I'm gonna make you mad. I'm gonna fill you with indignation and hot and round, and you're gonna ask yourself, why not me? Keep reading.
And come up and thrust him out of the city.
They rose up and pushed him outside of the city, and where did they take him to?
And led him unto the brow of the hill, whereon their city was built,
To what?
that they might cast him down headlong.
They want to throw him down over a mountain for what he said. That's crazy. He didn't say he did not say I'm going to kill y'all. He just say I ain't finna help y'all out. You see what I'm saying? And when you really look at this, it's kind of like, man, that's the same way people think now. Because they feel like you left them and you ain't going to help them. But it seems like the people that's outside, they the ones that appreciate more than your own. That could be your own household. You do all you can for your kids still won't do nothing. They won't do nothing. As soon as you help on outside, they say, you know what, it was that one time I saw you had helped cousin Cam out, and you know, That's what turned my life around. You know, I ever since that moment, I hated you for that. What I fed you, I'm finna turn this Shirley Caesar song. 9 months I carried you, no charge. Y'all remember that song? Mm-hmm. I got an amen right here. No charge. But as soon as I step out and do something good for somebody else, they looking at you and they watching you. It's crazy how this life thing works, but sometimes I just play along with it. But I learned the system because I'm reading those things that was written aforetime. What's gonna happen before, it's gonna come back again, but you gotta be aware of it. Don't let these things that people say, what? You don't succumb to it. At the end of the day, because that stuff will wear on you. I hated you for something you did to me, for something you did against me in my past. I gotta be Manasseh. I gotta forget those things behind. Right? And I gotta press forward the things that make me fruitful. That's how you gotta live. Boom, 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 boom. That's how I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pressing forward. Now they wanted to throw him down. Go ahead, Chris.
But he passing through the midst of them went his the rock. And he came down to Capernaum,
And what happened?
a city of Galilee,
Yep.
and taught them on the Shabbat Yom.
There you go. Now he's starting to teach. When we heard this, you remember a lot of us when we first heard this, it sounded like he come to free us, right? But right after that, he go down and say, this thing are gonna be talking against you because just of your heart. You harden your heart against me. You don't even want to hear it. After somebody tell you, I'm gonna hear everybody in here but you, are you gonna continue to listen to that person? No. Huh? You're not. Man, get that nigga out of here, man. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. But they don't realize is that's something you need to take and consider. Because the words that's gonna come out his mouth after this, those things are gonna free you to drop down all that negative behavior in order for him to come in. We talked about educate, right? Educate means I got to get out that old teaching in order to impart something in you, right? You should be angry enough to say, why am I in this situation? What better communication we could be in that we could talk? You get what I'm saying? And you can help me, right? A lot of people won't help, right? And y'all know me. When you start to look up the word help, when somebody help you, right, the action should come first before you have to give them something. The dollar amount should come first from them before you have to give them something. Let me break that down. All right. Cam needs $100 to pay his rent, right? I tell Cam, you give me $20, I'm gonna flip that and I'm gonna try to make it work for you. Instead of saying, Cam, look, let me give you $20 towards your $100. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the $100, right? So sometimes people, they don't offer the real help. They want you to give them something first before they help you, right? Help comes in two forms. Help comes in a noun form and a verb form. A noun form is what? A person. That's somebody helping you. That's becoming a what? Servant. They're helping you to do something, right? A verb form is considered what? The action. That means I'm actually doing what? I'm helping. Right? Let's look it up. Etymology of the word help. This is weird, man. I know you're like, boss, I don't know what the blank you talking about. But let's go to the noun of help. The noun of the word help, right? What is etymology? Etymology is one of the first times you can see this word being recorded in the history of it. What did it derive from? Let's get to the root of the word, right? Help. Old English help. Assistance. Succor. We heard that word succor before, right? Yes, sir. Right? I've helped you, right? Swedish. Hajop. Old Frisian. Helpi. Dutch. Hope. Old High German. Dang, they call it helpful. That's right. That's right. From the source help. This is used in a euphemism for a servant for a form of servant is an American English 1640s, right? So this is an actual noun, right? So when I was looking at this word help, right, and I got down to the bottom, I said, what the F is this? Help, a domestic servant of an American birth and without Negro blood in his or her veins is not a what? But a help. I say, what? Dave, what does that mean to you? You just do what I tell you to do. But you figure the slaves are what? Were helpers, right? Nah, man, you ain't nobody. That's what it says. A domestic servant of American birth and without Negro blood in his or her veins is not a servant, but a help. Yeah, I could be white, working in the capacity of a slave, but yet still, I'm not considered a slave. I am help. You feel what I'm saying? That is in the psyche, that's in the mindset of the people that had us oppressed. When did this change? It's still in because this is the code of how we ought to operate. So are we really free? No. Because you don't even know what codes that made you enslaved. That's weird, man. I said, man, listen. And I almost said the word when I read it. I said, man, what the F is this? And guess what? It's help, right? But y'all notice y'all always help wanted. I need the white people to come work for me. Don't get mad at Bostic. I'm mad myself. So when people say you're hiring, who are we hiring for? It's garbage speech. But you gotta understand this stuff in order to be free here, in order to be free with Mr. Yahuwah. And most of all, be free from sin. Are you helping yourself or are you still a servant? Because you keep doing the things that keeping you in bondage, right? Then I dove deeper. Y'all know me, I gotta go a little deeper. Then I pulled it up. Come on, Tim, let's go to work. And it reads right in the same book. Because I wanted to make sure what I was reading was right. Right? So the same book, it says, but a Negro is not helped. He is a what? Let's look at the word emphatic. Let's look at the word. Anybody know what that word means? Absolute. There you go, E. Because I sure need a little help. But let's go to Google because I ain't going to believe you. Kali, or emphatic. I don't know. Which one we should do, E? I said Kali. Y'all see that? In a what? In a forceful way. I'm forcing you to do something. If I don't want to work and I want to observe a muhadi, but you tell me I must work, I am an emphatical slave, servant. You're forcing me to work in something I don't want to do. Right? I hope y'all understand that. Y'all just saying, oh, I don't know. Y'all talk to me. They looking like I'm finna stone you and push you off a cliff. I'm like, hold on, brother. Please. And I might pull out something to stop y'all. Because I can't disappear in the midst. I can't do that. The Yahushua was clean, man. He's always got missing, Jay. Every time he was about to die, just shoot. I'm like, out of here. They're like, where he went? Every time. In my mind, I'm like, okay, why don't y'all bust his head the next time he starts speaking? Why y'all waiting until he could deal? But that's just my criminal investigating. But just think about it. Let's go back to it, Tim. Keep going. Go down, Tim. I want y'all to, it said, and the Irishman is seldom long in America before he too begins to assert supremacy of his white blood. And to come out of what is considered a degraded. The Negroes, both free and slave, have generally and great dislike the Irish, whom were first called the white niggers. That's tight. The Irishman was first called the white niggers. Right? And I'm going to tell you why they was called the white niggers. A very poor white man, such as an Irishman, generally is when he arrives in America and struggles hard to compete with the Negro for the lowest kinds of occupation. He's considered a white nigger when he's working with us. Because look at the jobs that we have. Do you see a lot of whites working in them? I'm talking about when you go out and you look. You don't see them. But when you have that blood, you shouldn't be in that occupation because you're looking at different and you call a white nigger. That's why I always push to say, y'all need to keep going. Get out of that situation. Keep going. Keep getting paid, going for the more. Go for the gusto. Keep going. Because you need to get out of that class of people because that's how you be looked at and that's how you be treated. And that's how you're going to be paid as such. Chris, you all right?
No, I'm just reading that.
Oh, Chris, like. But when you get into the mind of the life and liberty of America, this is what they teach you in the 1800s. How you found this book? We would have never found this book. But it's the truth because that's what they portray, and those are things that we go for. That's why, listen, man, I rarely had white people work for me. Even when I had them work for me, their fathers would come, and in 2 weeks, they gone. Because I already know what they say. But you letting a nigga boy over
That's
you?
right. That's right.
I mean, I ain't trying to be racist, y'all. I'm just telling y'all the truth.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I know somebody personally. They was in love with a Jewish man. The Jewish man told him, quick, going on and live on because I can't marry you. My parents will not allow me to marry you because we not of the same religion, as they call it, blood, or as they call it, or the same culture. You look at society in blur, you think everybody is together, but man, these people have rules on how they operate. I can't marry you if I bring you over in my blood. Listen, I stain my own bloodline. That's how they look at it. But we all supposed to be a what? As the book say, one dom. But they consider it white blood and Negro blood. That's what it's written. That's the things that they deal with. And yet in slavery, you see what they said, for the lowest kind of occupation, is looked upon with pity and hated by who?
Sambo.
Sambo. Hated by Sambo. Yeah. White Buckcroft. Go to the next page, Tim. This is the problem we have, right? And when I read this, and this got me to my book. Tim, let's go ahead and go to Romans, the book of Romans. Romans chapter 12. Keep up with my time. What time is it? 2:22. I urge you. I'm sorry, Romans 6 and 12. The book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 12. So even to my young folks or even to my older folks, any occupation that you choose, you need to make sure that you're working for a purpose. Don't get lazy and caught up in their purpose Because there's somebody that's high up that knows these terminology. Don't be fooled now. Don't be fooled. It's people know this and this is how they operate, but you just need to be educated about this and just be aware. I ain't saying nothing wrong where you working at, but just know certain mindset they put you in. All right, this is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 12. Listen to this first.
Let not kata, therefore, reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
That's right.
Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto kata,
Yep.
but yield yourselves unto Elohim, as those that are ka'if from the moot,
That's right.
and your members as instruments of Sadiq unto Elohim.
That's right.
For kata shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the Torah, but under Kasid.
Sin, as they call it, sin shouldn't have dominion over you. So just look at what sin makes you do. It do things that's contrary what? To the Most High the bar. Do you have control even on your own faculties? No. Because you're doing things that the Torah or the law says not to do. Right? You're not even a help to yourself. You are a servant. I'm sorry, what you said? A hurt. Yeah, you a hurt. The things that you need to be free from, you fighting against yourself, you are considered Satan. Satan. Right? Tim, let's give him the word. Let's give him the word what Satan means. When they wanted to push Yahushua over that cliff, they became a what? They became an odd. Because they attacked him and accused him. That makes them Satan, not the red man that's walking around with two horns on his head. Satan or Satan means an opponent, something opposition. Let's go to the next word. Someone that attacks or accuses. Satan, Satan. That's what will become your art. So when you out here in society and you trying to do things, listen, man, these people become your art very quickly when they do something against what you believe. Right? Because when someone say you can't work and go on the muhad, your defenses come up immediately. And you want to tell them, get thee behind me, Satan. They will take offense to it, just say, I'm sorry that I said that, but let me let you know what it means. Hold on 1 second. That means you're just an opponent of me. They were, no, you call me Satan. You call me the devil. You call me the accuser of my. No. Y'all know what it's saying, Kazun, right? The accuser of the. Zahid, what? Let's go. That's what it said. The accuser of the Akim. In the book it said the accuser of our brethren. Right? The accused is just what? Satan. Satan. So that's what we have to be aware of in life, right? But don't be the op of your own self. Let's go back. How should we be treated? Let's go to Ashamut. Ashamut chapter 12 at verse 6. Hey, Tim, let's go back to that document where we had first. I want y'all to read something right quick. I want y'all to read something right quick. Y'all see what it say? When his day labor is ended, right? He is free. But burdened with the cares of, he's talking about the slave now. Mm-hmm. When the day labor is ended, he is free, but overburdened with the cares of his family and his household. We can be free from work, but guess what we got to do? We still got to go deal with this stuff. Because you're not totally free, because you can't provide the things that your slave owner gave you to your household and to your family. So it puts you in a mindset, I got all work, now what I got to do? Dang, I got to go try to figure out how to make something happen. I done made the white man rich, as they call it. Now I got to go, try to make something happen. That's a mindset. That's why that's not free. That's not free. You're just freed from that particular time and situation, right? That's not free. But his employer is really free and may enjoy the profits made off other people's without a care or trouble as their well-being. So therefore the worker, I'm always free. I mean, for the employer, I'm always free. Right? Because yet, even when I'm working, I'm still free because I don't have the cares that the people have under me. You follow what I'm saying? That's why as a employer, as a real somebody that's over something, you gotta be. You gotta be. And I always encourage my people, I give them incentives. I say, go get a contract. Every contract you get, I'll pay you $1 an hour of that contract. So that means if you go get a contract with 300 hours a week, you get $300. If you go get a contract with 1,000 hours a week, you get paid $1,000 a week, and you don't even have to work no more. You go keep them contracts, and guess what? You got incentives to keep going, right? So your labor will eventually what? Free you if you want it. So therefore, I'm not holding you back. I'm only paying you what I agreed. That's it. That's all I can do. The Negro slave is free too when the labors of the day are over, and free in his mind as well as what? Free in body. That's when you're really free. When you're free here, you're free physically. Right? Euchanol chapter 8 and verse 36. So when we're saying being free from sin, we're saying being free from kata, not only in mind, but not doing the things of the flesh no more. That is truly free. It's a mindset. They teaching this in the 1800s. We're in 2021. Yet we're in the practice of still the 1800s. Have we grown or have we elevated? Because when we leave high school, we really don't know what's a good job. We think a good job is just being employed or on the clock and getting a check. Sometimes it's better to not even work and just find what you want to do in life. Because you're wasting time that you can't get back. When I realized that, I was sitting on that job for 8 hours, man. I said, I'm here for 8 hours. My work will be over, but yet I'm still here. When I get off work, I couldn't go to the bank. I can't take care of with my license. I'm a human being. I can't take my kids to the doctor.
Nope.
Why? Because I'm on somebody else's time.
That's right.
You free but not free, because free means when I want to do something, I need to do it. Right. Tell my boss, hey, look, man, I got the role. I got to do this. But what you got to realize, when you agree, let's go ahead and turn it over to the book of U'al Shemut, chapter 12 at verse 6. Because you could be free. You could be free for a time in a certain situation, but once a new ruler comes up, y'all know what happened with, get in Exodus. Exodus, U'al Shemut, chapter 12 at verse 1. Because we talked about it yesterday, but man, shoot. These folks. No, give me Ual 1 and 1. I'm sorry. 1 and 1. 230. 230. Read it right quick.
Now these are the Shem of the Benim of Yasharal, which came into Mizraim.
Yep.
Every each in his household came with Jacob.
Yep.
Reuben, Simeon, Louis, and Yehuda. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin.
Yep.
Dan and Naphtali. Gad and Asher. And all the Nephash that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 Nephash.
Yep.
For Joseph was in Mizraim already. And Joseph moved, and his Akim, and all the Tuledah,
And
all
what
that
happened?
Tuledah, and the Benim of Yasharal were fruitful,
Yep.
and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the Aras was filled with them. Now there come up a new Malak over Mizraim.
Y'all see what happened? When you begin to multiply and become to get fruitful, right? And there was a new Malak in Mizraim who did not know who?
Joseph.
Yahushua. Then what happened?
And he said unto his arm,
What did he say?
Behold, the arm of the Benim of Yasharal are more and mightier than we.
That's right.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them,
Yep.
lest they multiply and it come to pass
That's right.
that when there falleth out any war,
Yep.
that they join also unto our enemies
And what's going to happen?
and fight against us,
Yep.
and so get them up out of their rots.
You see that? That's what they keep the count on us. They already see how much we are, how many people we are. Because as we continue to grow, if we continue to grow and we continue to turn our mind, guess what? We're going to join with their enemies and fight against them for all the oppression that they did to what? To us. So you know what they do? I need to start getting rid of y'all. I need to start put more things out here to get rid of y'all. Cocaine. Because you know what they did with the Indians? They gave them what? Huh? Those smallpox. They gave them those things. In that same book, it talks about the Indians. They had 3 tribal Indians that went and met with the president of the United States. Right? He went and met with the president of the United States. All of them came in with an interpreter. Because whatever they said, they needed to translate that to the president. Those 3 different tribal Indians, they were not together, and 2 of them was enemies, right? But they had the same goal. They wanted to be free. They got tired of living in providence. They, on their travel to the president of the United States, they asked, I guess they went to a store or something, they asked them, hey, how can we find a president? And the people were like, the president? You can't just talk to the president. I remember like when they went overseas, they saw the councilman or something. The prime minister, I said, the prime minister just walking around? I said, oh, I ain't used to that. Because anybody of authority, they offset. But in other countries, they know they walk around. You get what I'm saying? When I was at Ghana, I said, one more person tell me they're going to take me to the king. I'm going to have to call them, tell me the man. Because you, everybody know the king. Everybody know the king. But he went to him and he said, listen, I want to be free. He better live like the white man. That's what he told the president of the United States of America. That's in the same book, Life and Liberty of America, right? When he told that to the president, do you know what the president gave him? He said a book. What y'all think he gave him? A Bible? What you think he gave him? He gave him words of encouragement. He said, do you know what you need to do? He said, you need to find out what the white people do and learn their occupation. He said, find out what they do and learn their occupation and learn from them. That's how you're going to be made free. That's how you're going to learn. You're like, hold on, you ain't going to give me nothing? Now, this was just in that meeting. We know what they got now. They got reparations. But we're talking about that meeting that they had during that time, right? Which tells us we need to look at the occupations on which we're getting. You need to find an occupation that makes the money, right? And you need to learn that system, right? Don't waste time on a system that's not doing nothing. So I'm like, dang, how do they go and ask the white man for this and he don't give it to him? And all the white man say, because you got to think, I'm not finna give you the playbook and you multiply and you become greater and mightier than me, and what's going to end up happening, you're going to turn and fight against me. That's the whole goal. You're looking for the playbook, you're looking for the course, you're looking for the thing that's going to give you the jump and say, make me successful. Nobody's not going to give you that because you're going to take that person out. But what you have to do, you have to keep fighting. You have to keep going. You follow what I'm saying? So the mind is all about the mindset. But most of all, at the end of this, you got to be free from sin. Because within yourself, you become your old op. You become fighting with yourself. And guess what? Every time that you try to be released, every time you try to get to the bar, you try to get the word, you will not free yourself because the more the bar you get, it keeps fighting because you say, once it takes over, well, guess what? I'm done. We're not going to party no more. We're not going to have no more fun. We out of here, and we're going to be serving Mr. Yahuwah for the rest of our days. Listen, the mind may want to be saved, may want to be free, but the flesh still want the things of the flesh. That's why they war against one another. And they say, I must restrain myself. I can't have sex before marriage. But your mind try to find all kind of scriptures and everything you need to do because it's fighting against each other, right? Because your mind is trying to bring your flesh under what? Subjection and captivity so that so the flesh can't rule against your mind. At the end of the day, the will of Mr. Yahuwah is to be free from sin. So I constantly feel myself a word. I can't do that. I can't do that. We talked about it yesterday about the fruit, right? The book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 22, it talks about what kind of fruit we need to be. Right? Let's get it right quick. The book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 22. We'll start at verse 18, Chris. Galatians 5 and 18. 246. Listen to this first.
But if ye be led of the Ruach, ye are not under the Torah. Now the works of the Basar are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath.
What did it say at 18, Chris?
But if ye be led of the Ruach, ye are not under the Torah.
That's right. At 19.
Now the works of the Basar are manifest.
Now they are known as the work of the flesh, which are. Now it's giving you what are the works of the flesh. What are some things that your flesh like to do or is doing that are considered the works of the flesh? What is it?
Adultery. Zanu. Uncleanness, lasciviousness.
Yeah.
Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, revilings, and such like, of which I tell you before.
What's going to happen?
As I have also told you in time past,
that
they which do such things shall not inherit the Malkuth of Elohim.
You cannot be chosen to the one to be in the Malkuth of Elohim. You can't reign with them. If you display these behaviors, there's no way you can reign with them. Just like Aharon, he was chosen with the Pari because his blossom, his seat, right? He was chosen. Or just like the basket of summer fruits, right? They're chosen. You don't have the fruit that's meat for a princess or that you can dwell with me forever. It's just not going to work. But, go ahead, Chris.
But the Pari of the Ruach is Ahab, Shusha, Shalom, long-suffering.
It's Ahab, Shusha, Shalom, long-suffering. What else?
Gentleness, goodness, Amunah, meekness, temperance.
Y'all see that? Temperance. Y'all see what the word that they gave us right there? Self-control. Self-control. But we don't have self-control. We failed. How does somebody get you out of being not self-control? They become your art, Because Satan, Satan's whole goal is to what? Push you. Right? To push you, get you over the edge, to do something against Elohim, do something against the flesh, to get you out of your situation. Right? You got to have self-control, you got to have discipline. Y'all already know that in Yukonon chapter 4. Let's get it right quick. Our whole goal is to win these simple battles so we can win the war against flesh in order to make it in with Mr. Yahuwah. We can't, if you don't win the small battles, you're not going to win the war. You can't focus on winning the war if you're not focused on winning the small battles. Right? But most of all, you got to free your mindset. It's all about a mindset. And you got to be careful of those people that's trying to come and help you. Because everybody that's trying to help you is not trying to help you. If that makes sense. When somebody say, I'm trying to help you, you got to dissect what help you getting it from. What kind of help they trying to give you. Do you really want help or you want to be a servant? You follow what I'm saying? You got to be aware of all situations. Even in the temptation of sin. When somebody is presenting you with something, right? Do you take it thinking it's going to help you, or just you want to satisfy your flesh? And guess what? You're going to be back to serving the sin. Because whatever that person offers you, they didn't help you. All they did was hurt you. And they was an op of you.
I think you want Matthew.
That's Matthew 4, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Matthew chapter 4. I'm sorry, Chris. And this is the book of Matthew. They call it Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Read.
Then was Yahushua led up of the Ruach into Bamidbar
To be.
tempted of Satan.
All right, now, right off the rip, who is Satan? The accuser, the attacker, or the op? Right? We know what the characteristics of what Satan is, right? So, off the rip, when Yahushua, he already know what? He already know this and he knows his characteristics, right? So off the rip, he already know how to build up a defense. I don't care what you're trying to do, I already know what you're going to get me to. So I already should have this in my mind and know how to deal with people off the rip. Not let me go get my Sefer, let me go try to read, let me call Ra'ah, let me call one of the Sarafs. I should already know what's going to happen. You should already know, have your mind in a defense and a readiness to know how you ought to respond. And when they say the weapons of our warfare are not what? Carnal, but mighty through, by pulling down, you already know, you already got your weapon set. Because you already got your shield, you already know what you're finna defend against, because whatever he's finna give me, I got to be well on what I'm finna take from you. So off the rip, we already know how we got to operate. Go ahead.
And when he had fasted 40 Yamin and 40 Layla, he was afterward and hungered. And when Manasseh came to him, he said, if thou be the Ben of Elohim, Amar that these Aban be made Lakam. But Ya'an and said, it is Katab, Adam shall not kai by Lakam alone.
That's right.
But by every matzah that proceedeth out of the pa of Elohim.
That's right.
Then,
because therefore, when you hungry, what's somebody gonna offer you? Food. Come on, man. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. If you make a slave starve and fast, they gonna want food, and guess what? They'll do whatever you tell them to do. That's what it's all about. Go ahead, Chris.
then Satan taketh him up into the Kadash city, and sitteth him on a pinnacle of the Mashakan, and saith unto him, If thou be the Ben of Elohim, cast thyself down, for it is Katab. He shall give his Malachi charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy regal against in a bond.
There it is. He fighting what this Debar is against the Most High Debar, because it's opposition to what he know is written. Right? We got what's written, but I hear what you're saying. This is an opposition or opponent to this, right? And we already know what Debar got to win, what the Most High of us sent a state. Put that state for us to do. Continue, Chris.
Yahushua said unto him, It is Katab again, thou shalt not tempt Yahuwah thy Elohim.
That's right.
Again, Satan taketh him up into an exceeding rash har, and sheweth him all the malkuth of the Olam, and the kabod of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee.
Everything I give you,
if thou wilt fall down and shakah me.
All these things I'll give you if you fall down and worship me. What happened?
Then saith Yahushua unto him,
Yep.
Get thee hence, Satan, for it is Katab, thou shalt not worship the Yahuwah Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve.
And serve him only. So at a certain point in time, you see when people say, get thee behind Satan, right? All he's saying is, I need to get in front of all this accusing and his opposition, right? I need to jump in front of this stuff. What you trying to do, you might well go ahead and hit it, bro. Get up out of there. Get behind me. Because that's what's going to happen. Your ops always going to be in front of you, but you need to find a way to get your ops behind you. And keep pressing forward. Push through all those things you're dealing with. Push through all that temptation that's in front of you.
Right.
Because that become op. If it wasn't temptation, why does it keep trying to present itself to me? Right. If it wasn't temptation, it will be for me. You follow what I'm saying? Because it's all about the opportunity. Temptation is going to always be trying to present itself to you. What are you trying to sell me? What are you trying to sell me? Bro, I don't want it. If I wanted it, I would have got it. Or if he needed me to have it, I would have got it anyway. So that's why you got to fight through this opposition. But it always starts with the mind. But a lot of things what we're dealing with is just this captivity of sin. That's what's keep taking us and causing us to be defeated. Just in mind. At the end of the day, you got to be your biggest help. Your biggest help is to continue to free yourself. Before somebody can help you, you need to help yourself. And say, this is where I need to be, or this is what information I need to start getting to get out of these bad situations that I'm in. Appreciate it, Chris. And Leon. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I watched my time. I was trying to make 2:30. Didn't make it. God dog.